Again, there's going to be grounds that may have to be moved from pretty much everywhere. Everything's so much different, but the return is on this side and the supply is on this side. So I'm going to unhook both of them from where the regular fuel lines go on the 240. So this is your standard fuel filter location on the 240 in this bracket and all that. Well, obviously it can't live there because the turbo's right there. So this hanger's going to have to move. This is the return line, so that'll have to go over to that side. The fuel line will have to be extended from here to over there. So I'm going to remove those hoses. I'm going to leave one on so I can keep up with which one's which, because I'll forget. And then I'm going to pull this bracket off real quick and we'll go from there. Alright, so I got that pulled off, the actual filter. So I think it's going to be 5/16 is what I'm going to need, and I researched 5/16 is good for 350 horse or so. So I'm going to get enough to come around and hook to here, enough to come around and get close to the fuel line. Then I'll have to dig through some of the stuff I got and piece it together. So the brake booster will go to this vacuum right here. So I'm going to have to come up with enough hose to come up and around to hit that. So I'm going to get this hose and get enough of that. So 5/16, a few feet, and 3 feet or so of the actual vacuum hose for the brake booster. And I should be at least around here enough to, all I'll have to come up with, figure out my fittings, and I can go ahead and put my heater core lines on. I think I have those. I may go ahead and get a size of them, and that way in case I can get them and transfer them to here. They should be pretty standard from that size to that size. So I'll have one here and one go around. So I'll get some lengths of that. I'll go ahead and measure that and try to figure out what I need there, but gotta go get some hoses and we'll be back. Alright, so we're under the car right now, and right here, let's change this light around a little bit. Ow. So what you're looking at, let me get you situated here. What you're looking at is right here is your clutch line from where the 240 comes in. Alright, well, we're going to do away with that because that will be on this car. You have to completely do away with this clutch line because your clutch comes in on the other side. So this clutch line is useless for this car now. So this thing will completely just go away. Will not be needed. Alright, so we'll end up pulling that up through there. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, so the exhaust is going to come down like right here in this area. That's where the exhaust is going to live. Okay, so we have two fuel lines right here. So we have to protect those guys because we're going to have heat right down this area. Okay, okay. So that's what we're changing. And what I did is I bought a hop cutter. for your smaller lines. You can get this at your parts store. And we got to establish the one with the line on it still is the whatchamacallit, the fuel line itself. Alright, so to make this easier on us, what we're going to do is we're going to take these fuel lines loose from this hanger. There's a hanger right here. So we're going to be able to get a hold of these a little better. Now, this is how I'm going to do it. I haven't watched any videos. I don't know what the best way is, but sitting here going through it and thinking about it, this seems best to me. So, alright, the first one, I really don't know what that one actually is, but I don't know what the first one is. I don't know where it goes. Maybe it's a vent or something. I don't know. But the second one we come to, that's our fuel return. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it where it's straight right here. So we're going to cut this line here. So on these, you make one revolution, snug it up, or a quarter turn is ideal. One revolution, quarter turn. One revolution, quarter turn. And that keeps you from squishing the line and egg shaping it. So you just go a quarter turn or so. Now if it doesn't cut very good, you don't have to go very much. There's still fuel in this line, so there'll be fuel come down on me. I'm gonna try not to get it on me, but and I got it right on me. Right in the fez. Alright, so we're going to continue with this line cutting. Alright, so we got that line cut. And the way I know this is the return is because I left this hose on it. There's a hose up here, it's still hooked on, and I left it on the return. Okay, so now we're going to take our 3/8 line, I'm sorry, 5/16 line, that's what this is. So your 5/16 fuel hose should be good for the 350 mark. Alright, so we got 2 clamps in our hand. Put our 2 clamps on. Well, throw one and put the other on. Make sure they're facing the right direction that you want to try to tighten them. Both of them same direction. And slip your hose on. Now, there's no barb on it now. It's just a straight line. So you want to try to get it on there quite a bit. Okay, so we've got that much on there. So now we'll tighten them up and then we'll go from there. Alright, so you want to get your lines or your hose clamps, pull them up there. Maybe too big of a, I think my socket's too big. I'll get a screwdriver and finish them off, but alright, so you want to make sure you get them good and snug because this is fuel and you don't want them things coming loose. So I'll tighten these up and I'll push the hose up through there, let the car down and pull it over to the other side, and that way I can cut my length. I would just go ahead and hang them both and kind of keep them separated, but they didn't have enough hose and I gotta make sure I got enough before I just cut random lengths. So, all right, here we go. All right, so now I brought the hose up through here. I'm gonna keep it up kind of high for now. I'll pull it out of these clamps because they're a little tight for what we're doing. I'll actually just put it behind it because it's a pain to get in. So I'm gonna keep that kind of length so that way I can run some hangers, because it runs over here and I want to make sure that it doesn't lay down on the exhaust anywhere. Pretty sure it goes under here somewhere. And this is why I wanted to do this before, because this wiring is going to be right in the way of it. Alright, let's see. Now I gotta figure out which one's the return. I think it's down here. Let me figure out which one it is. Okay, so I got the return line. It landed right here. So here's the throttle body. It's right there below the throttle body. So on that same side, just down and right there, that's my actual fitting. We'll zoom in maybe. I don't think I have any more zoom left, but you can see it's that fitting right there. So that's where my return went to over here. All right, so that's that. Okay, so while we're in this area, we're going to do the vacuum for the brake booster. So it will live. So this actually right here is your check valve. This little plastic thing. So that keeps your vacuum from going backwards and causing you to lose brake pressure through your booster. So if you don't have a check valve, you may lose pressure in your booster when you're doing a, that's going to be way too big. So we'll get another clamp real quick. Might as well get two because I need one for the other side. I don't think I'll have enough hose to do the supply line right now. So we'll slide us a clamp on here, get him there. All right, so we're going to this right here is what we need to go to. So we're going to somehow have to make that horseshoe around. I don't like it that way, but we could go to this, but then we'd have to 90 back around. I think this is going to be the shortest, sweetest direction here. Just make us a horseshoe. We'll call that done. We're just trying to get it ready for the track. This ain't a car or a show car. Leave enough so it don't collapse. Okay. Again, this ain't a show car, so I'm not concerned with scratching it up either. So that'll get us sweating all over everything. It's hot. So yeah, I'll tighten these clamps down, and that'll have our brake booster done. So all right, we find ourselves back under here, back with the fuel line. So that was the fuel return. So this one will be the supply. So we're going to cut it right about the same place. And we're going to figure out how to get it from here over the top of the motor to the other side. So we're gonna cut this a little right there at the end of it. Right there. I think it'll be good. Try to get us away from it a little bit here. Alright, there we go. Like I said, probably about a quarter of a turn every twist. You can go 2. It just seems easier that way. Just the main thing is make sure it don't start going down to one side or not following the same path every time you spin it. Because it will tend to walk on you, I guess is what I'm saying. You don't want it to walk. Because it will get dull and they'll start walking one way or the other. You just don't want to go too much at one time when you turn that knob. Dull your blade faster and whatnot. I think I'm good. And this one's got fuel in it still too, I think. Yeah. And there it comes. Alright. So there's that one. And we'll put a short piece of hose on it, and then we'll go from there. Let me find the hose. Well, alright, I got this one cut. Got the second clamp on. And make sure you put 2 clamps on these, because these are fuel and there's not a barb on the end of them to hold them in place. Make for certain that you do put your 2 of them on there. Alright, so let me find my hanger now. Ow. So we put our hanger back. Somewhat to that effect. I don't know if it's 100% right, but there's something holding them up there. We got to get some kind of heat shield or something to cover this stuff with. The fuel and your exhaust coming down there is not a good mixture. If nothing else, at least some heat tape. You know, that'll hold us for now. I think this one's going to end up coming off. I'm going to end up pulling that one off. But alright, we're going to feed him up through there. Yeah, this line's shorter, but that's your fuel supply, and there'll be a filter on that one. So, alright, let's let her down and we'll start running it where we need. So it's the end of the day. I ended up not having enough fuel line to finish, but I did mount the fuel filter. I'm going to have to get some heat tape or whatever it is. But there's the fuel filter. I'm gonna have to wrap it. The coolant line for the heater core, I ended up getting 5/8 because that's what was on the motor. It's not big enough to go on the 240 on, so where the heater core goes, it won't fit. It'll fit on the motor, but it won't fit on the firewall. So I've got to get it bigger than 5/8. And I need another piece of fuel line from go to there. I did hook up the power steering. So what I had to do was, now my 240, I think it was SR swapped at one time, so they had like some different fittings and stuff here. I used this hose. I may have to do something a little different where that's touching right there. But so mine was actually, the reservoir was mounted over there anyway. So I hooked all my lines up. I had a supply right here that was already there, but it goes down to the power steering. So I think I got all the power steering knocked out. I'm gonna have to do something with that right there though. There we go. So bend that over a little bit, and that makes that where it don't touch. Had some people stop by, had a phone call. It's the nature of the beast with the rentals. Had some people come by and pay. I'm not going to be able to get this car done with the rentals and employee issues and some other things that I'm dealing with. Got court again over a judgment for that one that we've got out there. So it's just not going to happen. So we still got to get some tires together. We got to make sure my son's car's good there. And then I got to deal with that rental some more. I got a rental that they're bringing me a deposit tomorrow on the one that was empty for a little bit. The one that was so bad. I had a guy rent it for about a year, and so he ended up, his health got bad and he ended up moving out. So it's still pretty good shape. We did have to go put some doors down in that one, but I think that's it. Some floor, we had to figure out some floors stuff there, but we got that done. And then we've got one really bad one that I had to go to court and evict her, and then now we got to go back to court for judgment. And then get a deposit on the other one tomorrow, and at some point I got to start on it. And so I need to film that actually. I don't think I've showed you guys that one. So we'll have to film that one. We'll have to continue on this. Something about too many irons in the fire, and I'm going to start hauling some cars off, get rid of some of the cars that are just sitting here not doing anything. My guy that's supposed to mow for me, he hadn't mowed any. He's supposed to mow tomorrow, I think, actually. So got to get that done, make sure he's going to do that, and a couple other things. But there's a lot going on behind the scenes that I deal with, so the videos can jump around a little bit. But as far as this, to continue on, I need to get a bigger size hose for the heater core. And I think that fuel line, I can get it over here. I can at least see the fittings I need. I think I can get that all done tomorrow. And I need to finish getting the factory harness out of the 240. And I got some parts coming as well for this thing. You'll see some of the parts I've got ordered. I got some pretty good parts here, so you guys are gonna see what all I've got for this car. But yeah, I'm pretty much hung up until, like I say, until I get some more hoses, finish that, and then tie that in before I get into the wiring. But I have to take the 240 wiring out. I think I actually have to cut into that harness to separate it from, I think the windshield wiper motor actually ties into this engine harness somehow. So I think I got to separate that somewhere or another. I'm not really sure just yet. And then I got to start running the battery to the trunk, because that has to happen. And then I have to put a larger fuel pump in. I don't think I have to, but I don't know what's in this. So I'm going to, just so I know, or at least pull it out and see what's in there. Because I do have like a 525s, 450, and a couple 225s here. So I have them. I just need to put them in. And then I need a distribution block for power. That's something I did notice I have to have. And then it's going to be a lot of wiring. And I still don't have a mass airflow, I don't think. I need to dig into that. There's a lot. There's a lot. Don't do this job and think you're going to have it done in a day or two if you've never done it and you don't have all the stuff. For sure. But all right, here we go.